meteorologist Collin Myers.
And we have been really talking about the heat here in our area. Happy that we aren't talking about dry conditions because of all that rain that we got.
Right, 60%, that's a low day for us. Our humidity's been crazy. Heat index about 100 by about noon today, so we could use a little break, maybe some rain. You guys remember the tropical downpours we saw last week?
Right.
The heavy rainfall could be in play for next week. I don't want to call it too early here, but there's a chance for July 4th we may be talking about some of this tropical moisture. Let's show you what's going on. First of all, out there, Galveston, beautiful, not a cloud in the sky, hardly, maybe one or two in the distance, cumulus clouds, very warm out there. Heat index values in the triple digits, air temperature 92 at Hobby Airport, but you know what, I think it's reading a little low, and of course that doesn't measure the humidity content. Here you go, 103 for a feels like temperature, 101 in Katy and Sugar Land, 100 in Galveston, 102 Pearland. Just updated there you saw it, 100 degrees now is what it feels like in Bay City. Here's what's going on in the tropics. Look how active things are in the Eastern Pacific. Typically when the Eastern Pacific is busy, the Atlantic is a little more quiet. Similar case here. We've got post the remnants of Daniel moving off to the west. In fact, no even clouds really with that, just a spin in the atmosphere. 90% chance of development for both of these disturbances. Good news is those are both poling west. Now the National Hurricane Center is watching this, kind of interesting. It's a storm system over land. It's going to push out into the Atlantic, has a slight chance of actually turning into something over the ocean and then maybe affecting the northeast coast. Not going to affect us. Gulf is quiet, but already starting to watch the western coast of Africa. Of course, all the dust coming off is actually right along this area where these trade winds are pushing west. Also watching a wave, but it has really been ripped apart by the wind shear out there. So some good news there. What's one of the reasons we don't worry about storms out of the Atlantic this time of year quite as much? Well, this year especially, we've got quite a bit of cooler temperatures in the central Atlantic, 5 to 7 degrees, which doesn't sound like much, but that's huge in terms of really limiting development for cyclones in the Atlantic. Also, this late season activity that shifts east towards the Atlantic, it's running into heavy wind shear right now. So if that subsides late July and early August, it'd be something to watch. But right now, things are looking favorable for really kind of a quieter season in July, August. Now, I don't want to jinx it. Let's go ahead and take a look. Things are quiet in the Gulf. Here you go to Western Africa. You can see how this wave has really fallen apart. Just a day ago, it looked quite a bit healthier. Zooming in, taking the clouds in 3D here, you can see how things are really disorganized, being sheared apart as this is dragged further towards the central Atlantic basin. Now, as we shift towards next week, this is something we saw last week with the tropical moisture. Look at what might happen over southern Louisiana as we head towards July 2nd, okay, Sunday and then Monday. This kind of tries to get its act together and actually brings a lot of moisture westward. So all of the models are showing agreement here. This is July 4th on the evening of. It could be a tropical moisture moving into southeast Texas and in some spots maybe some heavy rain. So it's something we're going to be watching very closely into next week. But for tonight and tomorrow, not a whole lot in the way of those rain chances. Maybe a stray shower or two tomorrow. 94 degrees for tomorrow. 92 then on Thursday. Keeping chances 20–30%. But there you go for next week. July 4th, already 60% chance of rain. The following Thursday, also a 60% chance. Again, we're going to have to watch for the possibility of some heavy rainfall as well. We'll show you some more of those projections coming back in just a few.
All right.